Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of TMC, the Mainframe community. This is a podcast from Mainframe Society. I'm Berk, do you want to tell the audience a bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. This year I have selected as IBM Champion and I'm in the event as a IBM Champion. But of course, I have long journey in the mainframe area. I was selected 2 years ago as a IBM Z Student Ambassador, and now I'm the captain of the 150 student ambassadors, and I'm here as a champion. Hi.
And where have you come from? Tell us a bit about your journey, because you've obviously traveled quite a distance, right?
Yeah, I came from here from Turkey, and I have flight like 12 hours to Miami, and I have 4 hours bus to Orlando.
Berk, tell me, big journey, travelled. Obviously, you might have had a lot of reflections on that journey. Maybe you've had a lot of dwelling on topics, a lot of kind of thinking, processing. We're going to ask you a question that's going to force you to think and process.
Yeah.
What does community mean to you?
Community is so important for our daily life because you think that you are born and you are not know nothing, and you are in the life and you are thinking that where I am, who I'm speaking with, my mom or father, and yeah, you every people wants to be in some groups or
Yeah.
maybe chatting about the same topics. Maybe sometimes you want to be friends with
Yeah.
the people. And community, I believe the community can solving problems that the people wants to be in the same topics, talking about the same topics, or the other main things there, your beliefs, your thoughts, and yeah, you can discuss with everything with them. Yeah.
So it's like that sense of acceptance
Yeah.
and things that bind you together, things that are common, a commonality. So whether that's your family, you're related by blood, or you're related by a shared love or something, right? Okay. So with that said, are there any community groups that you are currently, or maybe have you previously been a part of? And that could be a hobby, it could be a sport, a religion. Is there anything you do that you would say you identify with as a community?
Yeah, I'm one of the group with the IBM Z Student Ambassador group.
Exactly.
Actually, because we have to talk with the in the worldwide ambassadors, and we have like 150. When I was there the first time, we are like 30, and now 150. Think that
Yeah.
you need to speak more than people in the worldwide, like 120. This is
Yeah.
a incredible situation. And the other group, I am managing my student club in my university. And yes, I'm the last year computer engineering student. And yes, I love it communicating with them, creating some events, maybe some hackathons, maybe some big events with them, and maybe talking about the same topics. We are going to coffee talks or something like
Yeah.
that. And this is an excellent opportunity to speak with the new people.
Is that something that you've sort of enjoyed a challenge of, communicating on a global scale, communicating with so many people? Because I can imagine that was quite intimidating at first, but I'm sure you've risen to that challenge.
Yeah. Uh, uh, can I take the question?
Sorry?
Can I take the question again?
Yeah, sure. So you've risen to this challenge, right? You've risen to the challenge of communicating with people on a global scale. You're talking to students across the world, over 150 people. Was it a difficult challenge to rise to? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, of course. Because when you talk to first, you think that maybe we have some different problems region to region, but we are in the same way.
Yeah.
Not that much. Because you think that I'm talking with the from US or the UK or some Europe and other regions, and I'm thinking that maybe we have not the same problems because we are living in different conditions in our lives. But when we are talking, when I was remembering that the one conversation with the IBM Z Student Ambassador is here actually, and the first conversation is about how can I get a new member in my community, and I think that wow, this is the same problem that I'm doing in my university club too, and this is an incredible situation for me. And sometimes, because of your beliefs, it can be hard to communicate
Yeah.
in the same way because we are coming to different old situations, all different, maybe the lives, and the other maybe different friends, different groups. Sometimes maybe hard to speak in the same way, but we can solve every problem with them actually.
Ultimately, regardless of the distance, thousands of miles, regardless of maybe a difference in terms of, age or gender or anything like religious beliefs. Ultimately, we have all the same challenges to overcome, right? And that's why it's great to collaborate because, like you say, you could talk to someone thousands of miles away in a different time zone and they have the exact same problem you're having and you can work together, you can discuss, you can innovate, right?
Yeah, and we have another problem too that you mentioned. We have the time zone problem
Yeah, yeah.
because we need to manage the time zone. Now I'm here, like differences between Turkey and here is like 7 hours, and I'm trying to speak with my family or friends. That's so hard to speak with them here. And when I was doing the maybe creating some meetings with them, we are sending to different links that we can manage our timelines because this is so different.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are saying maybe 9 p.m. and 9 p.m. is changing everywhere actually
Yeah,
in the world.
9 p.m. where? you know?
Yeah. We are asking where it's like Central European time or Turkey time, and yeah, that's horrible to manage this actually.
So outside of the Z Student Ambassador, outside of your university degree, are there any other community groups that you identify with, that you've resonated with?
Yeah, actually, I have the different university club that we are doing about something in cloud area.
Oh, cloud,
And
okay.
this is not that different from the mainframe part.
No.
We are managing together because we know that one is a hardware that we use in our life. The other is we are using the software in our lives, and we are trying to maybe combine each other's two in our lives and maybe in our tech topics. Like
Yeah.
one friend is coming to us, I want to maybe create some applications in artificial intelligence, and we are saying, oh, maybe we can combine with it with mainframe or
Brilliant.
maybe cloud. We will manage this in different societies actually, but we will manage with together.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this.
So interesting point, right? Obviously, cloud. Some people see cloud as like an alternative or a competitor to the mainframe, but actually, there's no reason they can't exist in symbiosis, right?
Yeah.
So, have you experienced anything in your time with this cloud group that's maybe been transferable to the mainframe groups, like the Z Student Ambassadors? Has there been any teachings that you've carried over in either way?
Yeah, of course, because these are tech topics, different
Yeah,
tech
yeah.
topics, but
But
you
still
need to-
technology.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you need to combine together every field. Think that you are a company, you have a business, and maybe you need some hardware that you will manage your servers, but sometimes you want to be combined with like the hybrid cloud systems. You will combine with public cloud systems, and you can create a bigger systems with this combining. Especially in the student area, people think that maybe our knowledge will be lower than the other professions in maybe they are working 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah.
But if you're a student, you can manage the problems in different ways.
Yes.
Because you need to solve the problems with maybe lower budget.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe I'm personally creating some own portfolio websites, and I'm using cloud in that system. But sometimes in my university club, I need to use the maybe hardware of my university,
Yeah.
and I need to focus the solving that problem in mainframe too. I think this is a going like this. In the same way, they are going the same direction, but not competing. It's going the same
Parallel,
direction
right?
together. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So would you then say that maybe some of the challenges experienced on one have actually been the same on the other? You talk about the hardware, the kind of limitations, or the software limitations, or even just the kind of maybe the I don't know, the intended purpose for the different technologies. Sometimes cloud does have the advantage over mainframe, and vice versa. So would you say that it's all about maybe the thing you've learned across both, the thing that you're constantly reminded of, is that you need to work to the strengths, not against the weaknesses. You need to acknowledge that some things have more value in some areas than others.
Yeah, of course, we need to focus the strength of these technologies because every technology has some weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly.
But every business wants to solve problems with their strengths.
Yes.
Sometimes maybe you are not saying your customer about the weaknesses because you are directly solving that problem with the strengths.
Yes.
Sometimes you are not using these weaknesses in your technology. Like maybe sometimes managing mainframe will be hard.
Yeah.
But you can add some machine learning solutions or some automation solutions with directly to solve your problem with maybe a lower knowledge about these topics. And this is a, I think, crucial topic for the future too, because uh, think that you have some problems in your businesses, in your startups, or it can be anything. But if you are not solving your problems with the tech, you don't have any knowledge about tech. Because if you are not solving anything, you can know everything, but it's not usable for you.
Yeah.
This is not necessary for you.
So would you then, I guess further to that, would you say that you're kind of, maybe you would petition the audience, you would say like as a call to arms, what they should start to do is to be more, I don't know, more kind of willing to acknowledge that, this system doesn't, you don't have to see it as perfect. You have to see it as amazing at X, Y, Z, but maybe there are kind of systems, add-ons, kind of parallel, systems that you can use for ABC, work to the strengths. Don't be sort of bogged down trying to, die on the hill that this is amazing and there's nothing better.
Uh, can I take the question?
Yeah. So basically, what I'm asking is, do you think it's worth the audience acknowledging that the mainframe isn't perfect, but that's okay because there's other systems that we can use with it?
Yeah, because you can know the everything perfect.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay. Because if you are perfect, you're not perfect. In the tech, if you are asking your professor or your maybe colleague asking, do you know that? Maybe you don't know. It's okay for the business life or the other life, maybe in your classes or something else. And yeah, I think it's okay to maybe you don't know the every topic in the mainframe. It's because it's a big tech.
It's a big platform.
Big
Yeah.
tech, and you don't have a chance to know every possible situations or maybe future technologies that implementing in these technologies. But actually, you need to focus on the how can I solve the problems of my customer,
Yeah.
clients, or the other maybe stakeholders. Because the importance of these systems is solving the problems.
Yeah.
The first generation of mainframe is not that perfect, maybe. Now it's going to be
If it was
perfectly.
perfect, we wouldn't have more generations
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah. It's like the logarithmic way. It's we are solving problems better every day, but we are not solving all problems perfectly right now.
No.
If we are solving the perfect problem that you mentioned, we don't have any other versions or something
No,
like
exactly.
that.
We live in a utopia. You know?
Yeah. If we have the 100% solution, our job is done.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think this is a really important point, and I know there's quite outspoken people in this community who talk about this. Emma Skurgard is one, and it was, we can't just pretend that the mainframe is flawless because otherwise we wouldn't innovate, right? We'd just say it's done. The mainframe's finished. It's the best it'll ever be, but we don't. We constantly try to make it better. And sometimes the best thing you can do is say, maybe this software isn't what we need, and we're trying to force, a square peg into a circular hole. It doesn't work. Sometimes you have to say, maybe there is something out there that's better, and that's okay. We're not necessarily moving off the mainframe, but we're adopting the best that we can. Maybe that's the best on clouds. Maybe that's the best, with Windows or Apple or, AWS, but we just try to get the most value. And I think you made a really good point, is that sometimes it doesn't matter kind of what the solution is. It just matters that there is a solution, We want a system that works. We don't necessarily need to focus so much, at least in the immediate kind of future, on exactly what that is. But I think that's a really fascinating point.
Yeah, every software person knows that. If this is working, maybe sometimes not touching the
Yeah,
system
yeah,
will be
yeah.
better because it's working. Maybe you can find the optimized way,
Yeah.
maybe better way, but you can try in your or in your local systems, and
Yeah.
after that you need to try to maybe the development area and apply your solutions the real solution.
It's not about being risk averse. It's about being, calculated with the risks that you take. At the end of the day, there are systems that are more efficient. There's systems that, can be better, but they might take time to optimize. And sometimes, you need the solution now. So, I might put a plaster on a cut and I really need a bandage, but I can't get a bandage, so I'll do that later. It's better to have a plaster than nothing, right?
Yeah.
So that's a fantastic point. I think, you're wise beyond your years. You're a student, you're young, but I can see there's so much energy and so much knowledge already.
Yeah, because I think the knowledge is a power of the today's world.
Okay.
Because if you are talking, if you are walking in the streets, if you are saying hi to someone, people can understand that your looking at your face directly, your knowledge or something like that, because it's a big world. Technology world is a much big world. You can see the environment right now, maybe some of the other videos.
All the people moving in the background. Yeah,
and
yeah.
there have so much different topics here. We are talking going to cloud area, we are talking cloud, we are going to data area, data, and maybe going to application time, we are talking in the application. This is so much a big world. You don't have a chance to know everything.
No, exactly.
But you can know so much things in
Yeah.
these areas. Because I think that in today's world importance, every person knows one topic a lot.
Yeah.
But if you don't know the other topics, you don't have a chance to maybe create a new solutions in your business or maybe your daily life. Actually.
Exactly.
Because you can think that you are at home and you have a problem there. You know that problem, but if you are not trying to solve it, maybe it can be like maybe this problem can spend your time like maybe
Yeah.
in 1 year, maybe 5 hours. But if you are thinking 20 years,
Yeah.
this is too much.
Well, it depends though, right? Because mainframe modernization is something that, it isn't, mainframe modernization is this almost conceptual thing. You don't modernize and you finish. Again, like with the mainframe, you're constantly innovating.
Yeah.
Some problems are, decades long because they're not a problem with one solution. They're a problem with iterative solutions.
Yeah.
But equally, you don't want to have a system where you go, oh no, the system's crashed and
Yeah.
oh, let's solve it in 20 years,
Yeah. Yeah.
Finding that balance.
Of course, the balance is so important. Your point is very good because the prices that you are adding some your mainframe systems, the prices is so important.
Yeah.
And your solutions is so important. You can need to equal to each other.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have maybe $1 trillion,
No.
but
I wish.
you can solve the problem with $1 trillion. But if you are solving that problem, maybe $1,000, you are maybe a king of this area.
Yeah.
Because the importance is that maybe using your money, maybe the power of the people, maybe your knowledge, maybe your time, and you need to use it maybe cost efficient way. You need to use it.
Oh, brilliant. I mean, as I say, you're wise beyond your years. This has been a fantastic interview. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Berk, thank you so much for your time, honestly. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at GS UK, which isn't that far away.
Yeah,
right?
we will see each other.
We'll see each other.
Yeah,
Fingers
yeah.
crossed, eh?